The young lady, with a polite smile, introduced herself as Isabella, a socialite with a keen interest in fashion. She explained that she had heard about Samuel's work from a few high-profile friends and was eager to commission a couple of dresses for an upcoming event. Samuel, who had worked with many influential people, was used to such introductions, but he always made sure to treat each client with personal attention. "Nice to meet you, Isabella," Samuel said as he walked over to a nearby rack of fabrics. "I can see you're looking for something elegant yet distinctive, something that makes a statement without being too loud, right?" Isabella nodded, clearly impressed by his insight. "Exactly. I want to look stunning, but it has to be something unique. I'm tired of seeing the same styles everywhere." Samuel smiled, his creativity already beginning to flow. "I think we can do something that captures both your personality and the occasion. Why don't we start with the event itself? Tell me more about it. What's the vibe you're going for?" Isabella leaned forward, her excitement growing. "It's a charity gala, very exclusive. It's all about class and sophistication, but I want to feel like I'm standing out. Maybe something with a modern twist on classic elegance." She paused, then added, "And I definitely want both dresses to feel timeless." "Sounds perfect," Samuel replied, his mind racing through possibilities. "Let's start with the first design idea, something that combines the traditional with a touch of the avant-garde. How do you feel about silk chiffon with delicate beading?" The two of them continued to discuss the details, going over different styles, colors, and cuts, as Samuel sketched out potential designs on his notepad. The conversation flowed smoothly, and Isabella felt completely at ease with the designer's expertise. Isabella became both a client and a close friend to Samuel. It happened that on Isabella's birthday she invited her parents, her friends including Samuel, for her birthday party. And it was a night filled with joy and laughter. Samuel had known Isabella for a long time, but that evening, surrounded by her loved ones, they shared moments that made their bond even stronger. Samuel had always admired Isabella's warmth and generosity, and as the night unfolded, he realized how much their friendship had evolved. The party was a reflection of Isabella's vibrant personality, filled with laughter, music, and heartfelt conversations. Samuel was there to celebrate not just her special day but the incredible person she was, both as a friend and as a client. At the party, they shared inside jokes, stories, and deep conversation that made them appreciate each other even more. During the party, Isabella, being a very passionate person, decided to play a game. In this game, everyone was asked to say what had made them sad in life. They all agreed to play the game. They took turns, then it came to Samuel's turn. As Samuel shared his story, the atmosphere in the room shifted. His voice, though steady, carried the weight of the pain he had carried with him for years. The room, filled with laughter and cheer just moments before, grew quiet as everyone listened intently to Samuel's words. Isabella, who was sitting next to him, reached out and placed a hand on his arm in silent support. Samuel spoke about his father's death, how he had watched him deteriorate due to a lack of proper care, and the helplessness he felt when his uncle, who could have helped, refused to do so. The burden of grief and resentment toward his uncle was still fresh in his heart, even after all these years. His mother, a strong and loving woman, had been devastated by both the loss and the financial strain, leaving Samuel to carry the weight of their family's pain. By the time Samuel finished his story, a heavy silence hung in the air. His uncle grew curious about Samuel's identity and started asking him about his past, his father and mother's name, his place of origin. That was when he realized that Samuel was his nephew, his brother's son. His uncle was shocked and couldn't hold himself. He started pleading for forgiveness. Samuel left the party sad. The following day, Isabella, feeling the weight of the previous evening's tension, took it upon herself to mend the rift. She could see the pain that Samuel was carrying after the shocking revelation about his uncle, and knew that the conversation needed to happen for both their sakes. Her father, Philip, had insisted on going to Samuel's shop, hoping to make amends, but when they arrived, the atmosphere was anything but welcoming. Samuel stood in his fashion shop, his face hardened with anger and a mixture of hurt. His heart was still heavy with the weight of the betrayal his uncle had caused, and the thought of seeing him again brought a surge of bitterness. He had never expected this kind of apology, especially not from the man who had been so indifferent to his family's suffering. "Samuel, please," Isabella said softly, her voice filled with concern as she placed a gentle hand on his arm. "Just listen to what he has to say. He's your uncle and my father, and maybe there's something in his heart that he needs to say to you. Give him a chance." Samuel clenched his jaw and turned away for a moment, trying to steady his emotions. It wasn't easy to erase the pain he had felt for so long. But seeing Isabella's pleading face, knowing how much this meant to her, he relented. "Fine," he muttered. "But only because you asked." With a deep sigh, Samuel motioned for Philip to sit down, and the two men faced each other, the silence between them thick with unresolved emotions. Philip's face was pale, his eyes filled with regret and sorrow. He had no excuses for what he had done, only the truth, which he hoped would somehow bring them both some kind of resolution. "Samuel," Philip began, his voice trembling slightly. I never knew it was you. All time, I didn't know you were my brother's son. When your father passed away, I was too proud, too blinded by my own ego to see how much you needed help. I failed you and your mother. I regret that more than anything."